Gang, hello. Happy Friday morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. I hope you're having a good Friday. TGIF, folks. Woo, 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 woo. Man, excited to be here. Another day in the NASA Control Center, another day in, I guess, the Dumb Money Spectacular, or whatever we want to call it. It's another good one. Good vibes only today. Good morning, good morning. Who do we have already? Chair, Moon Gang, Mikey becoming an astronaut. Shout out, folks. AMC should be... What up? Good morning, Justin, Daniel, Adam, Lux. All right, chat's loading in now. Market, Kyle, Bob, Robert, Hans, Houston, Mustafa. Shout out. What's going on, Adam? Thank you for that super remote. Good vibes only today, folks. It's Friday. We're going to have a bit more fun. We're going to do what we want to do because it's Friday. Let's just enjoy it a little bit. We're heading into the weekend. Hopefully we see some incredibly green charts today, all except for this little guy down here. Not feeling the best about Hood. Still thinking this is going to be coming down, but the rest of them, we're looking for a lot of green across the board. All right, let's get this set. Let's hop right into it. Let's if you have questions, obviously feel free to post them, but let me do what I need to do and set us up for the day. All right, 5 things you need to know before the stock market opens on Friday. Stocks open lower, but July is still tracking for gains. So we've talked about the seasonality of July ever after the Independence Day holiday, early July, July 4th. From there, seasonally, you track up for the remainder of the month, and that's pretty much what we've seen for July. Now that this is kind of the last day of July, we're putting it in the books. Fed's favorite inflation gauge slightly below estimates. Actually, some surprising information coming out about this of it underestimated. They actually thought there'd be a bit more, so that's a bit of good news. Mixed stock reactions from Dow companies' earnings. So we know a lot of reports going on, like huge companies. And the one that was actually kind of surprising to a lot of people right here. Amazon posts another 100 billion quarter, but still misses. And let me show you this. Last night, after the earnings announcement, huge drop. 3,600 down to right now 3,350. So that dropped $250. It's down 7% in pre-market. Huge drop. Like this was, people were talking about it on Twitter, like what's going on? They missed on earnings. And to me, I get that they missed, but not this bad. This was, in my opinion, an overreaction. I'm interested in seeing how people are going to end up, I guess, reacting to it. Are they going to buy this dip and be like, hey, it's still Amazon, we know they're not going anywhere? Or is the drop enough that it's going to prompt some fear? But worthwhile to probably pay attention to Amazon today because it just kind of noteworthy. And then the last thing, the CDC about new data and mask crap. But so that's kind of your quick rundown. Related to AMC, so yesterday we were talking a little bit about this. Scarlett Johansson sues Disney over Black Widow streaming release. According to Variety, a lot of her contract for Black Widow, the bonuses and the kickbacks, were how it performed theatrically, and it was to the tune of, I guess she's suing them for $50 million. So we were talking about that. Well, Disney not laying down. Disney blasts Scarlett Johansson over Black Widow streaming lawsuit. Disney fired back against Scarlett on Thursday after the Marvel actress filed a lawsuit against the studio for releasing Black Widow on Disney+. So for those of you who haven't heard the story at all, it's just because Black Widow went theatrical and Disney+ simultaneously. And she was saying, hey, that's against my contract. It was supposed to only be theatrical. Scarlett claims she had been guaranteed an exclusive theatrical release on film as much of her salary was tied to its box office performance. Disney said there's no merit to filing this lawsuit. So a little bit of drama going on there. Someone yesterday said this entire stream with this Kohrs duck kid is becoming tabloid. And that was wrong, but I kind of like it now. I almost want to get into just the hot gossip, hot celebrity gossip. It's like, Picture TMZ, but a little sprinkle of stocks and a little sprinkle of high fashion. I feel like that might be a good overall pivot for this brand and this channel. So tabloids, yeah, let's get into them. But I'm joking. I am joking. This is just obviously because it's related to movie theaters, movies. We don't know how this will play out with streaming. If this is a hit to streaming, that's obviously going to be better for theaters. And clearly that will have an impact on AMC fundamentally as a business. So I just want to run through all that, give you an update. As of now, they're just kind of arguing back and forth. It's not like we have any legal commentary on it quite yet. Additionally on AMC, a little bit of good news this morning. So we woke up and jump across the board. The short interest up to 15.36%. Shares on loan now above 100 million. Utilization above 90%. It's at 91.63. Short interest, shares on loan, utilization across the board all increased. Right here, I think this is what I titled the stream. The shorts have not covered. And in fact, and this is just the conservative floor estimate. I need to drive that into people's heads that this is not the number. This is the conservative floor estimate. Shares on loan, huge. Estimated current short interest, absolutely massive. Crazy, crazy stuff going on. And it's just getting bigger and bigger. I have the trend here. Wild. Blows my mind. And really, if we take a look at the daily chart, let me pull this up for you right here. With this much money betting against it, granted, I get it. We're not squeezing right now. It's not like yesterday or the day before we had the actual squeeze, but they're throwing so much money at this stock and they are not beating it down. Right now, the Bears, the Bulls plus the Apes, everyone's equally powered. Everyone's equally strength, and that's why the stock's not moving. The buyer pressure is equaling out with the selling pressure. Hence, the stock is going sideways. So the fact that they're throwing that much money into it and they're really not getting it to plummet. I mean, if I, on their side, if I was sitting behind their computer screen, I would be a bit worried because they're throwing everything at it, including the kitchen sink, and it's really just not falling. Pretty crazy stuff. This morning, they've already loaned out another $350,000 against it. Blows my mind. But let's see how today plays out. But I just want to short interest, shares on loan, utilization, all increasing. Obviously, this is Ortex. If you want to use it, there is a free week trial in the description of the video under the link to Ortex. For GameStop, pretty noteworthy. They've borrowed $600,000, and remember, GameStop is a smaller float company. It has less shares in existence than AMC. So the fact that it's doubled up means even more. But they've borrowed over $500,000 against it. Short interest coming up very close to 15%. Huge jump actually. As of this morning, 13.86. But with this borrow, it jumped up to 14.89. Shares on loan over 8 million. Utilization 40%. In terms of its chart, very, very much wanted to hold on to 160, 165 right in this region. It is a previous low. We want it to kind of be a double bounce off of that and not necessarily break through, because if it does, the next catch might be 145, maybe even 136. So what we're looking for is for this to hold and kind of more of the double bottom George W scenario on GME. So that's your quick rundown, AMC GME. We have this up and ready to go. We'll throw on some magnets. We'll throw on some rockets, whatever you guys want. We could do the old Rich Greenfield. The world is our oyster. We can throw on whatever charting we possibly want to put up there. So that's your quick rundown, overall market, what's going on with Amazon. We know we have Robinhood. Robinhood IPO'd yesterday at 38. It's currently trading at 33.80. My assumption on Robinhood today is that it will continue to sell off. People across the board, institutions, Wall Street, and retail, many people across the board, I guess, excluding Kramer, don't like the stock. Kramer seems to be all about it. He talks about how much of a disruptor and pioneer Vlad Tenev is, the boy from Bulgaria. And at a certain point, I get it. He did bring many people into the market that would never be part of the market. And this is what I was saying on the interview on Fox last night of I give him respect for that, but the way he was able to do it is problematic because that group that he brought in is evolving and they're learning. Specifically, they're learning about payment for order flow, and they're also learning as traders, investors, whatever they want to call themselves, that order execution is truly important. And Robinhood, anecdotally, I don't have the stats behind me, I would assume across all major brokerages has probably the worst order execution, the worst execution quality, whatever you want to call it. I mean, right here, this is from Chairman Gary Gensler himself when he was talking to the House Committee of Financial Services in May. Robinhood explicitly offered to accept less price improvement for its customers in exchange for receiving higher kickbacks, and that's in reference to payment for order flow. This is a double whammy because in general, if you're a company and you treat your customers like shit, usually that's not a good business model moving forward. But on top of it, I'm saying it's a double whammy because it's literally the antithesis. It's the opposite of the ethos of the mythological story of Robin Hood. Rob from the rich, give to the poor, help out. And this is the opposite. Like literally what they're doing is like, no. We are not going to help out our customers. We want more money, and they're just getting kickbacks. So it's basically a Robinhood that is like selling off the villagers' information and then lining its own pockets. So that's why I say it's a double whammy, because it goes against the company's own ethos. Yes, I'm fully aware that many brokerages do payment for order flow, but I don't know if they have that same cultural story behind it of being Robinhood and like kind of doing the opposite of what they said they were trying to do. Another thing, what's their tagline? Democratizing finance. If you look into their filings and the prospectus, I believe it's at the point where with the IPO, the company has retained, I think, 16% equity, but somehow the way it's structured, they actually still have 60% of the vote. So 16 versus 60, this was said in another interview. How is that democratizing finance when they're like, no. Even though you guys are investing in our company and ideally looking for it to go upward, that's not democratizing finance when 16% internal ownership is still 60% of the vote. That's not listening to your shareholders. That's not you actually caring about what your shareholders want you to do, not want you to do. Interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. And for me, I have no Robinhood position. If I were forced to have a Robinhood position, I would bet against it. But as of now, as I'm saying this, I have no hood position. I think there's money to be made if you want to go against it. But obviously, please do your own due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor. More importantly than that, I'm not a fortune teller. Anything you do in the stock market, nothing is ever guaranteed. If someone tells you something has to happen, they're selling you something. Like nothing is ever guaranteed in the stock market. Much like in life, in the stock market, everything comes with risk. So no matter what you do, if you're a day trader, a swing trader, an investor, I beg you to have some sort of plan. What is your reward target and what is your risk tolerance? Weigh out the risk, weigh out the reward. That's what the stock market's all about. It's about you taking reasonable, whatever you perceive to be reasonable for your own financial situation, your own financial health, taking reasonable bets, weighing out the risk and reward, and seeing if it's something that you want to truly engage in. And that's true for any stock, any option, any crypto, any whatever. You have to weigh out the risk reward. I beg you to have some sort of trading plan. Don't just wildly guess and like cross your fingers and hope for the best. That is not a trading plan. All right, let's see this. Morning, Mitch. Looks like a rainy day in the hood. Shout out Clubfoot Billy. Opinion on Circle K deploying Bitcoin aims across the US and Canada. I'm bullish AF on Circle K long term. Circle K. I have not heard of Circle K. Clubfoot Billy. What is that? Here, let me, if I Google this. Circle K. It's an international chain of convenience stores owned by a Canadian multinational. Okay, so it's a huge chain of convenience stores. I guess I just haven't. Oh, there's actually one close to me in Philly. Interesting. Haven't heard of it. So you're saying that they are now accepting crypto? Interesting. Well, as we as more and more established companies such as Apple, Visa, MasterCard, Tesla, like all start to accept crypto, obviously that's going to be good for the crypto sector. And then crypto itself at large is in an interesting situation in which when people speak out against it, it kind of emboldens the audience of like, okay, don't tell us what to do. We want to detach from. To me, I just don't see at large. Of course, some crypto coins will do well, other ones will fail, but at large, I don't. To me, in my opinion, crypto is here and it's here to stay. I just don't see how it fails at this point. Throwing an X-Note into the good luck for AMC pool today and become an astronaut. They always said the revolution will not be televised. Nope, it will be streamed on Matt Kohrs' channel. LFG Apes, shout out to Mikey. You views are diminishing. Thank you, the American dude. I appreciate that. Am I the only one thinking this? Matt Kohrs launches his own ethical trading app. You know how to code. People are looking to jump from Robinhood. Do this. I mean, I would definitely have to get a team. There's a lot of like not only technical hurdles, but also a lot of, I guess, legal issues. I mean, it's something that maybe one day we will do it. But right now, to my understanding, at least in the US, it seems like the two popular ones that do not engage in payment for order flow is Citadel. Not engaging in trades with Citadel, mainly from payment for order flow, is Fidelity. Fidelity, free trading. If you are not intentionally routing your orders on Fidelity, most of them are still going to Citadel. So I believe you have to use Active Trader Pro, and then you could route it intentionally away from Citadel. And then the other one that I'm hearing more about is Public. Public, I reached out to them directly, like the team at Public, just to confirm. I was like, do you in any form or manner get payment for order flow kickback? And they said, absolutely not. That was from Public's team. I reached out to the company. Another thing that I guess they do though that like can concern some people is they lend out your shares, and actually you can turn that off. There is a way you can reach out to the team, their customer service. It's even an automated process to turn off your own share lending. So if you're looking for two, you can look into those, and with them, maybe, I don't know, I'll reach out to him and see if they're like, we could get some sort of like extra stock sign up. So I'll try to talk to him additionally this weekend. But if you're looking to avoid payment for order flow in the US, I'm pretty sure Fidelity and Public, it seems that they do not engage in payment for order flow. And I know on Fidelity, you don't have to loan out your shares there. In fact, it's the other way around. You have to go out of your way to sign up for the stock loaning program. In Canada, I believe more and more people are talking about Wealthsimple. And in terms of my European viewers, I would need a little bit of help from you to know which ones in Europe are not doing payment for order flow. Bill and Ted met Rufus at Circle K, RIP. A friend told me Robinhood sold their AMC shares on them. So with that, very well could be true, but you'd have to get more of the information. Like, were they getting margin called? Like, it depends. Legally, a broker can't just sell it randomly. You have to somehow break some form of the rules or risk tolerance, such as like being margin called or something. Morning, Matt. Morning, Apes. Have the best weekend. Shout out Kinky Kong. Let's start a GoFundMe and get you a team, my man. I love you, Matt. Beavis. Beavis, shout out, shout out. Man, that is something. I mean, I do have, I guess, enough of the coding connections. Obviously, I would have to build out the whole legal aspect of it, but I'm sure just with the viewership, someone out there would have the right connections to all the legal things that have to go through. But I don't think it's a trading brokerage, but I don't think you can trade through it. But I know Dave Lauer, the guy who is like actively speaking out against payment for order flows and dark pools and all that stuff. He's working on something that is along the lines of like getting the information to the retail trader that like usually is only allowed on Wall Street, which I think is incredibly cool because that's one of our biggest issues is just our lack of high quality of data. Have you seen the DD about routing puts to offshore accounts like in Brazil? I saw a little bit about that, Holly, and it's very interesting. I can't sit here. I need to fact check some aspects of it to see it. But it seemed intriguing. I can't sit here and be like, oh, that's actually spot on and it's great. Because some parts of the DD, I was like, hang on. Like, it just, I want to dive into it this weekend before I like say it's across the board good, across the board bad, or maybe there's like some good, some bad. But I just, with it right now, I'm just going to, I just need to dive more into it. And then so I could have a little bit of time to do my own DD on that DD. Matt, if you create your own firm, you have no shortage of name ideas. Space Monkey Capital, Quack Attack Fund, 10 out of 10 would invest. Have you heard anything about major lenders getting margin called today at 4:30, or am I misunderstanding what I heard this week before August 1st? I believe, isn't it the end of a T35 cycle? This is another thing where expectations are just getting set too high. Do not go into it thinking that there's going to be some sort of margin calls. And also 4:30, at least if we're talking about East Coast time, usually the margin calls are midday, like 12 or 2, not after the market closes, especially on a Friday, unless it's like the end of month balancing thing. With it, overall, though, like my general comment is don't have some sort of expectations that there's going to be a massive amount of margin calls today. It could be, but like I would not be playing today and making trades based on that assumption. People talking about Interactive Brokers, I believe they have their own commercial saying that they don't do payment for order flow. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I have an Interactive Brokers account and I know they let you route, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they have a commercial right now, like that's actively live saying they don't use payment for order flow. I have sparkling water as well, but bubbly brand Blackberry is my go-to. Have a fantastic weekend and don't skip leg day. Chris, not only do I skip leg day, but I skip all days. I skip like upper body days, arm days, back days, leg days. I skip all days. Very, very consistent. That's one of the biggest things you guys are going to know when you get into the world of fitness like myself. It's all about consistency. No matter what you do it as consistently as possible. For me, I consistently miss everything, not only for working out, but life in general. It's all about just showing up and doing it and consistency, discipline, consistency, and following through on your schedule, your ritual. For me, I consistently miss every single exercise, every single workout. That's what you need to do. That's how you make progress, folks. Trading, fitness, relationship, life, it's all about being consistent. Whatever you do it day in and day out. Good morning. Just had a conversation with my wife about ducks. Had to tell her to relax. Advice from Matt Kohrs. Not good advice. Not getting booty tonight. Pirates, shout out Gorilla Champ. It's going to be a fun Friday, folks. All right, we're about 5 minutes out, a little bit over 5 minutes until the market opens. Is this true that if you own synthetic shares or your shares were bought with margin, we ain't getting paid? That is not true. That is complete FUD. If you have a real share or synthetic share, honestly, you don't have to worry about it because you still own the share. You still have legal ownership of AMC. It's not like they'll just be like taken away from you and they're like, oh, sorry. That is something you do not have to worry about. Interactive Brokers don't do that on the pro version, and you can choose what exchange you want. Shout out, I'm just the cleaner. If you coordinated the creation of the Ape trading app that addresses our concerns with other brokerages, me and everyone I know and all the apes will be jumping ship. The Ape app. Okay. I will. How about this? I will make some calls and talk to some people to see kind of what's involved in this, because I mean, it's a large undertaking. It is a very, very large undertaking. Matt, did you see the AK filing that says 265 million votes were cast? That seems like a high number. Shouldn't that be closer to 4 million? 265 million votes were cast. No, because remember, that's representative of the shares. Like you have more of a vote with like the more shares you have. It's not like one vote per person. It's like one vote for like the shares that you are an owner of. There's a big difference between owning one share and owning 100,000 shares. You have like more equity, so you have more say. I always tell my wife, you got to skip the gym quite a few times to get a body like mine. Shout out Fist O Frost. All right, AMC 37.45 as we're heading into market open for today, Friday, July 30th. We're closing out the week. We're closing out the month. I'm curious to see how Amazon reacts. Ugh, bad gap down this morning. Bad gap down this morning. All right, let's see how this is actually all going to go today. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Friday, Friday, Friday. Friday, Friday, Friday. All right, what other questions do we have, folks? You can name the platform Congo. Sign me up. Chris. All right. Let's still, I know some people are seeing the spike in Robinhood. I don't see how this ends well for them. I think it's still going to get beaten down. I mean, not only the fact does it have like legal government issues going on with it, and the fact that a lot of the public hates it, but just historically over the past couple months, IPOs have not been doing well. It's just in every sense of the saying, it is running into very serious headwinds. Very serious headwinds. Obviously, that's my opinion, but I feel like it's also just backed by what we see actually going on right now. All right, let's get to the 1 minute on everything. Get some popcorn ready. I'm thinking a red day on Robinhood and hopefully a green day on everything else. Morning chair, morning match. Win by puts on Hood. I don't think the market's even built out on Robinhood. I mostly have all my shares in Robinhood. Do you think Robinhood will try to do something when the squeeze happens? Should I be worried about my shares? I can't say they're not going to. I would like to think that they're not that corrupt and messed up, because previously they just stopped the buying of shares. They never stopped the selling of shares. So I think you're going to be safe, but I mean, I can't guarantee that. If you're worried about it, you might want to switch to like more of a legitimate established brokerage. Payment for order flow is illegal in the UK, so Lansdowne and Free Trade are good. Also check out Charles River Labs, quietly eating up pharma and big growth. Shout out. I like the platform Congo. All right, we are less than a minute out, folks. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Friday. I feel like my voice is as nasally as Rebecca Black's. Like it could work. Like if there was one song that I might be able to execute on well myself, it would probably be Friday. I do. Hang on. I should ask this after the market opens. I think we're all gonna get a little distracted right here just to see what's actually going on. Let's do this thing. All right, let's get up to level 2. We are ready to rock. All right, the casino, folks. Get ready, get ready, get ready. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, 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 ready. Let's do this. The casino is open. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's do this thing. All right, all right. Let's do some auto. All right. Low volume thus far across the board. Whoa. Amazon continuing its decline. Amazon. All right, Robinhood hit 35. Let's see how that plays out. Genie at 165.60. AMC looking good. 38. Just $1 at a time on Amazon, or not on Amazon. Well, sure, on Amazon, but also on AMC. Let's see 38. Let's see 39. Let's see 40. All right. Come on. So overall, still, especially if you're a newer viewer, I very much like waiting those first 15 minutes of the day, 20 minutes of the day, just to see how things are kind of really shaking themselves out. There's a lot of whipsaw, a lot of just high volatility right at market open. So for it, I like to see if we're developing any sort of trend, if we're bouncing off of any support, getting rejected at any important resistance. I like to be calm, cool, collected. Oh, I attempt to do that all the time, but especially right at market open, just to see how things are really playing themselves out. All right, Amazon. Ugh. All right. Looks like Hood is starting to get hit. Does Robinhood have built out options yet, or is it still too early? Yeah, no options can thus far be played on Robinhood. Hood, no built out options quite yet. But AMC looking good. Its current intraday high is 38.35, but it looks like it's about to make a new one. So even though Amazon selling, even though Robinhood selling, AMC still moving upward, still on the prowl. A true El Tigre. All right. What other questions? Hey, King Kong Matt from the daily time frame 6-1 to 729. Are there similar? Ooh, from the daily time frame. Wait, Ken. Are there time frame of 6-1 and 729? Sorry, I misread that. Let me check that out for you. So I think you're talking about this 6-1, and then you said 29. I mean, they're both Doge, like they're not the exact same. I guess they happen in the picture differently. Like this was running up and then it took a break and then it ran. This one we didn't see a similar. So like if you look at the individual day, they're similar, yeah, but they're not in the same overall environment. What's your favorite cheesy 80s movies? Mine is Over the Top. I recommend watching if you haven't. Over the Top. I have not seen Over the Top. It shows buffering. Did it freeze on you guys? Lag. My OBS still says it's up and good. Hang on. Like a switch. Just do a quick refresh. It looks. I saw a bit of a loading, but my OBS did not drop. So if everyone just wants to hit Control R, that might be better. I mostly have all my shares. All right, we did that. Illegal. Ba, ba, ba. uh, why is this happening? It might just be a refresh thing, team. Um, I don't know if it's a cheesy movie, but a very nostalgic movie that I watched countless times. I believe it's in the 80s. It's either that or the early 90s was Goonies. My sister and we watched that movie on VHS so many times. I love the Goonies. The Goonies, if you have not seen the Goonies, that's your homework for the weekend. It's such a good movie. Man, it almost makes me want to watch it for this weekend. Goonies never say die. Love the Goonies. Goonies never die. Feel like that we could just use the mantra of Goonies in our ape nation. All right, AMC looking good, making that run to 90 or 39. Right now it's at 38.70. GME's at 165.64. Robinhood bouncing off of its low from yesterday. Like I said, I think Robinhood keeps selling off. In my humble opinion. Amazon, is it going to come back? Are people going to get this Amazon dip? The dip on Amazon. All right, AMC, what you doing? 38.48. Hood still not looking good, team. Not looking good on Robinhood. All right, AMC, strong. Not update. What's its volume at? 3.69. Low volume day, but still the chart is very strong. All right. And AMC is still looking good. Looks like it 39. I kind of like this 39 region just because if we go over to this 2 hour chart, you can kind of see that we're still battling this wedge. And what is this? 40. We're just trying, like, this is kind of the final day of this wedge that we've been in on the 2 hour, 4 hour time frame. Looks like we are like it 1, 2, 3, 4. This is its fifth bounce. Let's see if it's the final bounce that gets us to actually build up some momentum and run from there. Would love to close above 40.25, especially on considerable volume today. I would count that as a very nice win. Come on. GME taking a little bit of a hit, 163.70 for my audio listeners. AMC holding up in the mid 38s. Amazon making its decision of what it actually wants to do today. And then Hood feels like it's holding on by the skin of its teeth, honestly. I mean, this was the low from yesterday, 33.30. I think if it cracks this, it might, people who bought in and got a bit too eager with the IPO, it might prompt a little bit of capitulation or something along those lines that scares some people out. Scares some people out. What do we have going on? Amazon, what you doing? How's Tesla doing today? 672. So great day yesterday. It's down now $5, but I mean, not the craziest reversion. I mean, it did do insanely well yesterday. And then we have Hood coming down. Okay, AMC previous resistance. Let's see if this holds at 38-ish. 38-ish. Justin, okay, I'll check that out later. Matt, can a short the stock, buy it back, and then use the same short to short it again? I guess theoretically that would be possible, but that would just be a huge net neutral position for that person. Because if you short and then buy and then short and then buy, you're continually undoing your own pressure. Like you're selling pressure and then you have buying pressure and then selling. It's just net neutral and probably like a waste of money, honestly. What is going on with Amazon? All right. Hood bouncing off of that low. Hey, you guys. This literally put a Robin Hood commercial right before the stream started playing, and they didn't even let me skip it. You can watch the Goonies if you want, but first you got to do the truffle shuffle. The truffle shuffle. Classic, 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 classic. All right. Is Amazon going to make this move? GME down 1.16% on the day at 163. AMC looks like it just based off of perfectly 38. Hey, you guys. We need that to happen today on AMC. We just booby traps. Please address the FUD from the shareholder meeting yesterday. People don't seem to understand these shareholder meetings. I guess what FUD? The only thing I see is something about like they thought there was some sort of like secret count, which I didn't see anything that really verified that whatsoever. If that's the FUD you're talking about. Some people are asking for Ortex. Happy to oblige. All right, AMC, they've borrowed $761,000 against it, a net of $27,000, short interest of 15.36%. GameStop, they've borrowed a net of $620 with a short interest of 14.91%. All right. Hood looks like it's so close to cracking down. All right. Is my stream health weird today? So this is one of the most frustrating things is I am invested in Apple in my long-term account and it's made me money. But with the newest computer I've gotten from Apple, it has like the worst Wi-Fi connection issues. Like my older crappy one, like at least could hold on to internet and it wouldn't just like kick me off. Feeling the Goonies, lots of old folks going after these crazy dumb kids. But then look at who had the bag of jewels at the end. Man, this is like just a blast from the past. I think I might watch that movie this weekend. I haven't seen it in so long. If it's blurry, I guess just give it a quick refresh. That might be the best thing. Let's stand up, folks. Let's work on those 6-packs. Why not? Hang on. I'm having some of my own issues now. All right, yeah. Let's do it. Here we go. Do the truffle shuffle. All right. AMC basing at 38. I like it. Let's see it get above 38, 30-ish, 38.25. Amazon, watching how it reacts to 3,350. Watching how it reacts. Looks like people are obviously buying up the dip on it. What is this? Breaking news. Finra is investigating Robinhood for insider trading. Literally, it's the investigating whether any employee trading in these securities may have occurred in advance of the announcement of trading restrictions. Oh, wow. Oh, Robinhood. I guess you could call it a bit of a dumpster fire. That, if found guilty, that's a very, very serious crime. Like insider trading to the brokerage, like if Finra can like prove that and show that they did it, wow. Bradley, the older brother in the Goonies, also played Thanos in the Marvel movies. Really? That's crazy. I was not aware of that. You got to watch the movie this weekend. I'm literally wearing a Goonie shirt right now. That's what I sent on Twitter. Weird. Oh, Justin, that's hilarious. Why are all YouTubers stepping away from talking about AMC? It's all over Facebook. What do you mean all? I have not heard of any YouTuber stepping away from talking about AMC. I heard that. I mean, I talked to Trey, and I guess I knew that was coming for a while. He said he's doing all of his AMC, and he wants to add on other content to talk about market structure, I believe repos, some options. But I haven't heard of anyone stepping away from talking about AMC. I don't know where people are getting that. Trey, I mean, I have not seen Claybro's comments on it. To be honest, I don't care about Lou's comments. I don't care about Tom Zulo's comments. I mean, the people who are stepping away are the people who like what bandwagoned at the end, and like now they're trying to talk about, I guess, something else. The only one I can talk about really fairly, because the only one who I actually like watched their stuff would be Trey. And I watched Trey's video. Trey did not say he's stopping talking about AMC. He said he's going to add on other things to continue to teach people. And whatever they do, they want. Man, this is just another thing to like spur up the drama in this community, folks. I mean, they could do what they want. I mean, honestly, okay, let me put it this way. Do I watch Lou's content? I do not. But I also respect him as a human being, that he could talk about whatever he wants to talk about. I don't think anyone should be like, oh, Lou, you have to talk. It's his channel. Let Lou run it the way he wants. He's going to, for his audience and his viewers and his loyal supporters, I'm assuming he is doing what he thinks is best for him, and that's his decision. And honestly, I do wish him the best of luck. Like, just because our views don't always align on something, that doesn't mean that like content creation, it takes a lot of effort, and it's just different. It's like it's a whole different beast, and like I get obviously many jobs and professions and everything out there are difficult, but for whatever reason I still assume that what he's doing and what anyone's doing, I'm not the biggest fan of Tom, but I still think that these people are doing what they think is best for their audience. Like, I don't think there's some like malicious conspiratorial thing of like, oh, like what's going on behind the scenes, yada yada. I don't think that type of a thing is like actually happening. It's just, it's their channels. If you like their content, watch it, enjoy it, make your life better. If you don't like it, and if you have an issue with them, if you have an issue with me, you just don't watch it. It's really that simple of a thing when you're talking about social media and content. Consume what makes you happy, consume what makes your life better. If you find that you're wasting time, if you find that it's like actively like making you angry and pissing you off, for example, if you watch me and you're like, man, I am like a huge fan of toads, but I hate that this guy is shilling for the frog industry. I'm sorry, but the frog industry pays me a lot of money, so I'm going to keep shilling for it. And if that upsets you, go find someone who promotes the toad industry. It's all good. It's all good. People can do what they want to do. There is not a lack of content creators. You should be able to find someone who makes you happy, who teaches you something, who makes you laugh, and that's cool. And honestly, all of these guys, just because I don't consume their content, like I still wish them the best of luck. I want them to be successful. Another forgotten 80s gem with a rewatch is Real Genius. Val Kilmer in peak form. Huge crush on Michelle to this day. What's out, Mikey? Glad that you guys are talking about market concepts still impacts AMC, considering becoming a day trader with a percentage of AMC profits post squeeze. Brian, I wish you the best of luck. One of the first tweets was about this is our time down here, and the little theater in my neighborhood is playing Goonies. It's a sign, never say die. What's going on, Kiki Kong? The blurry thing is frustrating. I have to change your stream settings, Garricon quality to 1080p manually instead of auto, and it's fine. Goonies, LOL, watch it when it came out. I'm old. Tweet by Volume Princess, AMZN took a big dump. Dark pools sold first. Does it mean during the mother of all short squeezes they can control selling, preventing us from selling it until after it hits the fan and more Robinhood type event? No, I think that's still like a little bit more of a FUD scenario. Like, you're gonna be able to get in and out. I have many issues with the current state of market making for the US Wall Street, I guess whatever we're gonna call it, entity. But the one thing that our market makers do well is provide insane amounts of liquidity. Like I said, let me just make this very clear. I have a host of issues with the current state of market makers, the duopoly of Citadel Securities and Virtu for the US financial system. But the one thing they do well that is a benefit is provide insane amounts of liquidity. And why that's a good thing is because in incredibly volatile, insane environments, you will still be able to get in and out of positions. That is one thing that like it is a benefit is they're good at providing liquidity, and liquidity is how easy you can get in and out of a stock position, especially a sizable position. So that's going to be a benefit, especially when we're like living in the actual moment of the mother of all short squeezes. You want that higher liquidity to get in and out. I don't like you, but I love your fashion channel. You were supposed to have potential. What happened with the shareholder meeting? I believe the result of it, the vice, whatever, someone of investor relations had a response email that all the results of it are coming out in an official SEC filing within like today or next week. Since you're talking frogs, I recommend the movie Hell from Frogtown, cult classic for sure. Weird Science for sure. It's a missile, Gary, but I still love you, Chunk. Some gangster flicks right there. Make it a great day, apes. Hey, Matt, can you explain how the AMC daily chart looking so far? Thus far in the day, not much. I mean, slightly green, which is good, but it's going to get more interesting above the $40 area. AMC currently making a run to a new intraday high at well, the intraday high is 38.70 and it's trading at 38.50. Looks like it's gearing up. And then could get even more interesting. So first thing we're watching right here, intraday basis. Would love to see this close above that 40, I think, what was it? The 40, 25, 41 area, especially on some nice volume. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Robinhood down 1%, but it's kind of making a run back to 35. How's IWM doing? IWM. Oh, IWM's the small cap, the Russell 2000, which AMC is a part of, having a pretty decent day. GME bouncing off of 162 up to 164. AMZN got above 3,350. Interesting, interesting, interesting. $3,385 is what I would. What? Would I watch that? This is what I would watch on AMZN. All right. AMC made a new intraday high. Ding, ding, ding. 38.88. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into our full form, kind of going like full Dragon Ball Z here. Our final form of duck trading. Duck trading. All right, there we go. IWM showing a bit of strength. GME holding out at 164. We kind of really want this to stay above 165 just on a support technical area. Howard the Duck, obviously, come on. Bought more AMC. Shout out Brambles. Hey, Matt, can you please? All right, we did that. Toothpick 93. Hey, Matt, can you go over something for all of us? There's some confusion that needs to be clarified. Can you explain how there can be large red candles that has a volume of, say, 150K, and then right next to it is a short candle with 600K? Yeah, so you think about it this way of that means if you have a bigger candle, but it was lower volume, but you had a bigger range, that means that at that point in time, there was some sort of, I guess, weakness. So if we're talking about a red candle, that means a small amount of people sold, but there was no one buying. So at that point, the supply was outweighing the demand and you got a bigger push. But then there's other times where it doesn't move at all on big volume. And that's possible. And that means that the supply and the demand was like very close. So you didn't get much actual price movement. Think about it and what it means of supply and demand. If you have no demand and like a little bit more supply, I mean, that's just going to push the price down. But if they're equally strengthed, equally powerful, you can have a ton of volume and it doesn't move at all because it's just like the bulls and bears are like viciously fighting it out, but they're not getting much movement because they're equally powered. Cup and waiting on the handle. Shout out, Chris. I see exactly what you're seeing. Let's see how it kind of pans out. I'm just watching a little bit of AMC and IWM, a little bit catty corner here. They're looking similar today. Not perfect, but similar enough. Cowbells. We need more cowbells. Let's see what is going on here. All right. Amazon doing its thing. Ooh, GME trying to get back up to 165. Trying to get back up. All right, AMC. So currently, just for my audio listeners, AMC's current intraday high is 38.88, and we're trading at 38.50. Just kind of deciding what it wants to do. Seems to be tracking a little bit with IWM. GME, not really, but it did bounce off of 162 up to 164.50. And then Amazon, the only really reason we had it up is because I saw people talking about it on Twitter last night. They missed on their earnings, huge gap down, but it looks like people are buying the dip. In fact, it bounced off of 3,307 and it's pushing 3,362, I suppose. For those of you who are interested in it, I'm watching 68, then followed by kind of 85, 87. Amazon. The Bo Burnham, Jeff Bezos song. I think I'm somehow stuck on that particular sound within TikTok, the Bezos song. Like, what? How's it go? CEO, entrepreneur, born 1964, something like that. The Bezos one, absolute hilarity. Absolute hilarity. Can you explain VWAP in layman's terms? So VWAP is volume weighted average price. So basically on the intraday basis, whereas a lot of people are going to end up using it, volume weighted. So it's the amount of shares everyone has bought at the associated price divided by the total volume. And basically it just tells you where the people on that intraday basis, if you're above it, that means the average person, the average holder is in profit on the day. And if you're below it, that means that the average person is down on the day, just for those current traders. The AMC shareholder results SEC filing is up on AMC Investor Relations already, but it's as mundane as you'd expect it to be. Yeah, I mean, when we knew we weren't voting on the potential of the authorization for 25 million shares, like it's good to vote, but none of those were like crazy proposals. Cup and handle on the 1 minute chart. Yep, we're looking at this cup and kind of a handle. Like I guess if we go into a smaller time frame, here's your cup and handle. So we're seeing how it reacts roughly to 38.80. I'm just cutting this region in half and seeing if we can get some momentum past that. Ortex for AMC, please. Can do. Remember, if you want Ortex, there's a free week trial. You could a jump in shares return that just happened. Interesting. So remember, it's either shares that were never short being returned now, or shares that were short covered 2 days ago and now being returned. It's one of two things, or most likely a combination, but short interest 15.34%. Can you explain levels of resistance within a stock price? Why do they exist? What's the reason? How do they vary, etc.? So they only exist because of us. There's actually nothing important about those price levels besides the fact that people look at them and they're like, oh, hey, the stock got rejected there before. I wonder if it's going to get rejected there again. And enough people, if there's enough people who see it, they're like, oh, I'll just sell at that value. I want to lock in my profits. If enough people do that, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Much of the stock market is self-fulfilling prophecy. If everyone thinks that a stock's going to go up and everyone buys, it's going to run up. If everyone that thinks that a stock's going to go down and enough people sell, it's actually going to go down. The stock market is so much about self-fulfilling prophecy. Someone asked, can we get the GME Ortex? Yes. Borrow change of 538,000, 14.77%. Jackie, AMC, what's going on? Let's see how this goes. AMC. We're getting a nice cup. Here's the handle. Very bullish technical pattern. Let's see how it ends up playing out, but I'm feeling good. I think the big test is still this region of 40 to 42. If you've listened to any of my dumb money shows for the past 2 weeks, it's really come down to this resistance at 40 to 42, and it's just very, very important. Someone's asking about AMD. Is it still running? Ooh, AMD is cooking. If you're in it, I'm sure it makes you feel some sort of way. I have some AMD, I believe, in my retirement account. I don't actively trade it. I'm just a fan of the semiconductor industry, so I own Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. But AMD obviously making some money. It's been range bound for so comically long. I'm happy that it's broken out. I mean, look at this range from basically 100 down to 72. It's been in that ever since for a year. For July, all the way up into July, and now we're finally breaking out of this sideways training. So if you've been battling it out with AMD, you deserve a congratulations, because that's been a long fought battle. So I hope the tendies you're getting now are worth it. And if you're a person who maybe didn't even know that AMD was a long fought battle and you just got into it a couple of days ago and you're making money, well, even more congratulations. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. Hey, Matt, can you offer insight into EXPR shorts on Ortex? EXPR. Yes. Let me look up this. EXPR. Express. I know this was another one that ran in terms of a short squeeze sympathy play. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I can definitely tell you the short interest. It is 6%. So I don't really think it has short squeeze potential. And it definitely has less short squeeze potential than AMC and Jimmy for various reasons. The shorts aren't there. It doesn't really have community support. If you're in EXPR, you should be in it because you like the company. I would not be in it because you think it's going to squeeze. In my humble opinion. Look at that. Look at this resistance hit. It was off by 19 cents. I get it. I'm sure some of you saw this and you're like, man, if this kid's calling out resistance and he's off by 19 cents on a $3,368 stock, that's just not good enough. And I get it. If that makes you want to unsubscribe, let me put it this way. Me being off by 19 cents makes me want to unsubscribe from me. Like if I were you, I'd be pissed. I would be fuming. I don't know. I would lash out. I would emotionally lash out on probably some form of social media and be like, this kid is garbage. He doesn't know anything about technical analysis. He doesn't know anything about resistance. It's just not acceptable. You deserve more. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't know if I can give you more. I feel like I'm already working at a capacity that is just like, with my like puny brain size, it's just, I don't even know how I got here. So I can't even lie to you and say, give me time. I will be better. Let me learn. Let me practice. Folks, no, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to learn. I'm not going to get better. This is it. The way people peak in high school, I've peaked on social media. This is it. I'm not going to learn more. I peaked as a trader. I've peaked as an investor. I've peaked as a dumb money commentator. It is all down here. Physically, I'm on the other side of 25, so that's going downhill. And now just, I would say mentally, like my intellect, my skill set, my speaking ability, everything's going down. If you want to make money, I would say puts on the Kohrs brand. That's probably one of the most surefire bets you could possibly do at this moment in time. Somehow call up Goldman Sachs, call up JP Morgan, tell them whatever you need to, but be like Christian Bale when he made all that money back in 2008 and demand credit swaps on the Kohrs brand. They might say, who's Kohrs? And then you just say, cut the bullshit. We know that you're watching him every single day. We want to buy credit default swaps on the Kohrs brand. If that's how you're going to make your money. Hey, Matt, where's the unsubscribe button? Not YouTube advice. Right there should be that big red button. They make it easy to find, fortunately. So AMC looking a little bit froggy, bounced off of 38.40, ran up to 39. We know 39, really, it's become 39 to 42, but more importantly, 40 to 42. We're looking at that level for the breakout. Oh, Ortex on SPRT, support.com. SPRT, support. 65.26% considerable short interest. Definitely considerable short interest. I don't think you guys can hear it, but my computer, it sounds like it's having a hernia of sorts. Like it just sounds like it's not doing well. I have potentially a good secondary bet, not only a put on the Kohrs brand, but like a put on either my computer just not living or me getting so angry that I just huck it off a cliff. The other side of 25. Oh, I choked out my vape. I'm 46. Hey, Matt, what do you think about ORMP? I admit it's a chart and technicals are not the best, but currently have oral Rona vax trials. So with that, Mikey, that sounds like more like a fundamental play. I don't know anything about its fundamentals, so I don't know how useful my commentary would be on that. But if you think that it's going to do well in these trials, well, that's a legitimate play. But I am not the like biopharma expert. That is not my area of knowledge by any means. Not by any means. Where are we at? Any big news on Twitter? Any hot gossip we can get ourselves into? Oh, wait. Hey, wait. Did Tara lose her account? Does anyone know on Twitter? I'm seeing something about free Tara. Can someone explain to me what happened? Is her account gone? Hang on, let me search it. What was it? It's Tara Bull. Her account's still there. I don't know. Can anyone inform me on like apparently I missed something there? Feel like I missed something. 19 cents. Matt, you need ducking relax. Oh, her space calls got banned. Her live chat banned from. Oh, you can get banned from that. I guess I didn't know you could even get banned from that in like as part of the platform. Like I thought you were either on the platform or you were off of it. I didn't realize that it. Huh. I didn't know they could do that. But we're also starting to learn that social media in general can do things that none of us thought they were allowed to do. That's crazy. So account not banned, but lost space calls. Interesting. Huh. Huh. Does anyone know why? Like, did they give her a reasoning? I doubt it. I don't know why I'm asking that because I feel like the answer is just obviously why would they give you a reasoning? Like, that's crazy. You can't. Why would they do that? Will you pull up the Ortex for AHPI? Been following it, but has 4 million flow and did 200 million volume. Looks like it's slowly squeezing. I'm an ape as well. AHPI. Ortex. Just a reminder, you can get that free week trial, folks. You don't have to pay anything. You could just cancel it after 1 week if you do not want its services. Its short interest is high on AHPI, 43%. And it's a low float stock. The only thing with that, like I would say the main knock against that one, is that I just don't know if enough people are talking about it. Remember, just because it has a high short interest, that does not mean that it is gonna squeeze. High short interest is not correlated with squeezing. Of course, you need it to be possible, like, because that's what a short squeeze is you have to have considerable short interest. But a lot of the time, you need to have some sort of other external support for it to break all that selling pressure. And AHPI, I mean, it has a high short interest. I don't know what it does. It looks like it's in the healthcare industry. But my question is there enough people that like actually care about it? Today's broadcast of Dumb Money brought to you by humming PC fans, just loud enough to be noticed. Happy B-Day, Marshall. Matt, you must have on some pretty good headphones because I do have some like noise suppressing stuff. So for you to hear that fan, it also might be my AC for all I know. But you must have on some high quality headphones or just like superior hearing. Like throughout your life, you've just never lost like one little ounce, one little decibel of your hearing ability. Which, congrats to you, man. Morning, Matt. You are awarded another super chat for the short ranting story. Credit swab call bullshit. I love short stories. Get me through my day. Benny. What's going on? He lives next door to you. Well, he is from Canada. It looks like I got a $5 Canadian, which who knows if I could even use that in the US. But oh, what is this? Did quick question, did anyone listening right now listen to the Twitter space call with Dave Lauer on it last night? Is anyone here that listened to that? Unfortunately, I was not. I was doing an interview. I didn't have time to listen to it. But I was wondering if anyone could be like, give me a recap of how it went, how it was received, anything interesting coming out from there, any leftover questions. Can anyone give me the skinny on the Twitter space call that included Dave Lauer last night? I'm seeing, yeah, it was good. I did off and on because I believe it was still about payment for order flow, right? Anyone got news? Did Meet Kevin take a break? No vids past few days. He might be very busy with his gubernatorial stuff. I feel like my IQ goes up fictitiously by about 20 points whenever I say gubernatorial. Just for that moment in time, the fact that I can put those sounds together and it like is actually accurate makes me feel some sort of way. Gubernatorial. Just give it a try. It doesn't matter if you're listening to me in a meeting right now, not paying attention to your manager. Just say it out loud. See what happens. You might get promoted. I mean, what's really the worst case scenario? Just give it a shout. If you're in a library, if you're on a bus, if you're at a Wendy's, it doesn't matter where you are. Just give it a try. Just say gubernatorial. Meet Kevin's gubernatorial campaign. Someone said that he had a family issues. Okay, so it sounds like he just has something going on. Someone just said I got fired. Just total. I want to see the stats on bid and ask. Like you can give them any more info for the day, so they just punch it in and hit the auto button. I want to see the stats on the bid and ask. Like, you can give them any more info for the day, so they just punch it in and hit the auto button. The bid and the ask. Well, okay. Important thing to note here: this bid and ask. This is only from the New York Stock Exchange. This is not the full level 2. Even for all the lit markets, there's about 12 other major lit exchanges that we would want their bid and ask to. So if you're looking at it on Webull, this is exclusively the New York Stock Exchanges. I'm not here pitching to you that this is all of them. But I could leave this up so you can see the level too. I don't think my head is blocking it, is it? Just like the bottom rung, but you can see it right here. But once again, just the New York Stock Exchanges. Gubernatorial. What a word. Watch Matt Strats, not Kohrs, to make some real money. Shout out Agent M. Just Total, by the way, thank you. That was an absolutely massive super chat. Let me know if you want something else from that. Feel free to message Mod. I just want to make sure I'm getting up the information that you want up. There's no way to beat. No way to beat what? Just Total. Morning, Matt. You're rewarded. They've been shutting down several space calls on Twitter yesterday. Shield Team 6 got canceled like 10 times. You know the answer, bro. Yeah, this weekend, and we were talking about this yesterday, just so everyone knows, just literally for brand safety issues, I'm going to start posting the content to multiple platforms. I don't know how to make this more clear. I am not saying I'm leaving YouTube. I'm saying I'm going to post everything to also a different platform, just so in case we get chopped off, if we end up getting beheaded by YouTube, we just need some sort of realistic backup, and I'll be making that decision this weekend. First, my knee-jerk reaction was Twitch, but then I'm a Twitch affiliate, and that's an issue because they don't want you to stream on Twitch and something else simultaneously. Not a big fan of that. You guys gave me a cool list of things to look out. I'm looking at Rumble, Odyssey, OnlyFans, DLive, Theta TV, and Local were the ones that you guys brought up to me, and we need to do it simultaneously on multiple platforms for very, very obvious reasons. You can make "Oh brother" a catchphrase, so gubernatorial should be next. Oh brother. Oh, speaking of gubernatorial, let's look up the word of the day. Word of the day. Let's teach you something. Wherefore. Wherefore. For what reason or purpose? Why? It also means therefore. O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Well, that doesn't make sense, because if it means therefore, or for what reason, therefore art thou Romeo. I feel like Juliet was obviously not hooked on phonics. A little strange of a speaking style. Wherefore. In early English, a number of new words were formed by combining where with a preposition. In such words, where had the meaning of what or which, hence wherein, in what, whereon, on what, wherefore, for what. Although wherefore as an adverb is rarely used today, a noun form meaning an answer or statement giving an explanation survives in the phrases that's the whys and wherefores. Oh, wherefore. Let's bring it back, folks. Wherefore. Basically, for what? Basically means for what? Matt, you can also use Vimeo for live stream. I didn't know that Vimeo had those capabilities. You learn something every day. Can't hear Hummingbird, just wanted to grind your gears and possibly provoke a rant. What's going on, Matt? You know me too well. Great name, by the way. AHPI has a float of 2.99 million with total shares outstanding of 4.1 million issued. Not trying to take away from AMC since I've been an ape since December. Figured I'd share the case. You found 713 volume sus 200 million. No, I like low float. The lower a float is, the stock easier it is to push a stock dramatically up or down. Colby, it could be a very legitimate play. It very well could. My only question is like, do enough people know about it? Because you need still buying pressure to push it up, obviously. D Live is a good one, brother. That's where I'm at. Look up. I'll hook you up. Let's Moon Apes. Shout out Fuzzy G. I'm not a fan of the game, but it's not really a game, but it's life for you. Hospitals and 8. Shout out Just Hodl. Because of you, I flew to Kansas City yesterday to pick up my grandkids for a week at Myrtle Beach. I've learned so much. 52-year-old FedEx driver hodling 1,400 M Fred. Man, I know I mess around a lot and just say stupid and silly and random things, but it's honestly because of little comments like that I keep going. The fact that we're spreading some stock market knowledge, people are actively learning, becoming better, and improving their financial situation. It makes me so incredibly happy. Cringe, a lady just got, whoa, what? A block away from my job 2 days ago and hadn't been blasted all over the web. Can't even sleep. Wow. Trey's nipple OnlyFans. I feel like there's a big disconnection between your username and the seriousness of your comment. That is horrific. Whoa. With the level 2 moving and changing as quickly as it is, do you really get out of it? How does it affect your trading? Yeah, I mean, this is when it's moving quite a bit. I mean, this is actually kind of slow compared to what would happen in the mother of all short squeezes. Like, this is still somewhat reasonable if you could track it 57, 58, 58. Like, it's still somewhat reasonable. You're going to see massive jumps during that high volatility environment. Huge swings. But you're still going to be able to get in and out, but still, that's why you should be using limit buys and limit sells. Market orders are not going to be your friend. They're not your friend really ever, because that's how high frequency trading makes their money easily, is when you're using market orders. Matt, have you seen the SEC filing from AMC this morning? I've personally not read it, but some people were commenting on how it's just as boring as you'd expect it to be, like nothing too special. Can we have a look at the volume or watch of a count of how many shares are in whose hands, hedgies or apes? That isn't a live thing we can get, because remember, some of that 13F reporting, it can almost be delayed by an entire quarter. The most up-to-date thing we got was in early June when we got that share count, and they gave us a concept that there were about 4 million apes who at that time had on average, I think, about 120 shares per person on average. But you can't get like a live update. Do you know what HODL is going? What HODL is going? Where HODL is? Just HODL. HODL. It sounds like you're having a very good Friday, HODL. Market orders is the exact shares of what I sold. Every share must have a buyer and seller. Sounds like. So, but with it, if you do a market buy or market sell, you're not controlling the price. The market makers can kind of move it up or move it down ever so slightly on you just so they make a profit. With a market buy, a market sell, you're guaranteeing a price, and you're basically saying, if I don't get this price, well, then I'm not going to take the trade. Did you watch the Charlie vids, hot potatoes, and the 1 minute put opinions, not shares, being tossed back and forth of offshore accounts? I did not. Newish ape, average of 62 to 48. I hold it for you. We hold it together. I can hold it till Super Bowl 2023. Bring on football. Go Vikings. How do you feel about the Doge community asking Adam Aaron to accept Doge on AMC theaters, and Elon liked the tweet? I think it's funny. I mean, I tweeted that out a couple months ago. It's on my Twitter, and like, people still gave me shit, and now it's like something that they're like, oh no, like, we want you to do that. It's funny how like quickly this all changes. Hey Kohrs, what exactly are we waiting for? We are waiting for the shorts to cover. HODL on gonna surf life. Just HODL. What's going on today? It sounds like you're having a very good Friday, and that's the name of the account, Just HODL. Sounds like you're having a great Friday already, and you're making my Friday great. Like I can feel your energy. Big fan of it. Matt, testing lessons for over 6 months. Hood wedge forming with support at 34 breakup. 1045 thoughts. I have no position. Okay, you're looking at hood. Let me get. All right, lesson over 6 months. Okay, so you're watching this wedge. No, I think you nailed that one. Uh, Malphus. I hope I'm saying your name right, your username right. I like the wedge lower highs, higher lows. You just need to be patient and look for this. But you know what is breaking out? AMC making that move, trying to run back up to 39. The current intraday high is 39.04. Morning, buddy. That's it. That's the message. How's your day going, bro? You got plans for tonight? My plans for tonight are just to like kick back on the couch and I don't know, I'll just like watch Olympics reruns or something like that. I'm looking forward to take a bit of a breather. I think the past 2 weeks have just been a little nuts, and I had a handful of interviews this week, and those are always stressful, and just, I don't know, sometimes life is stressful. And I think I'm very, very much looking forward to just kind of doing nothing. That's what's kind of interesting. I think when you become an adult, when you're younger, like the exciting thing is to do something. Like if you talk to like a youth, they're like eyes light up. They're like, we're going to the zoo. And don't get me wrong, I love zoos. I love aquariums. My eyes still light up. But there's a certain age when you hit in your life that when you ask someone and they're like, what are you doing this weekend? They almost get more excited when they say absolutely nothing. Like there's a certain glimmer in their eye. Like I think when you're above 25, 30, 35, it's the same type of excitement of when that like special person asked you to prom. Like that excitement, like you get that jacked up when you know you're not going to do anything. You're just like, let's go. I am sitting on this couch and I am doing nothing. And I don't know. I think it's the exact same like emotional response you have when you're little and it's like your birthday or in middle school or high school and you're going to a dance or prom or something's going on. You're going to homecoming or like the big game. Honestly, it might even be more as an adult because you learn to appreciate that. And it's like, man, I'm just excited about doing nothing. I'm going to sit there and maybe I'll just live stream that all weekend. I'll do a Truman show and you guys could just see me with like Cheez-It crumbles on my shirt and me just judging Olympians, like just inappropriately sitting there being like, I could do that, as I'm just sitting there with like empty bottles of sangria and Cheez-It dust all over me, just casting judgments that I literally have no right whatsoever doing nothing. You could be like, it's almost going to be impressive how much I don't do this weekend. And I'm excited for it. Maybe that's why I'm excited about today. Maybe that's why there's a little glisten in my eye. It's just because I know I'm setting up to do nothing. Just hold on for the next Olay 8 day 7. Just hold on. What is going on with these comments, man? I love them. Take my super chat because it makes me feel weird. Happy effing Friday, all. God, I love this day. Something just feels good. Tell me about it, folks. Bro, I'd watch that. They gave stimulus fourth draw. I'm at the age where the most exciting part of my day is bedtime. Carl, we've all been there. Morning, buddy. That's it. That's the message. All right. Someone was asking about a PG 150 call for September. PG. Whoa, did not mean to. Well, intraday, you're killing it. Hang on. PG. Yeah, I mean, your main thing that you're watching is 147. You just need that breakout. If it looks like it's going to get rejected there, I would lock in profits. But if you think it's going to break, I would hold past that. But the name of the game for PG is to get above 147, and you have plenty of time to do it. So I think it's possible. I think they just reported their own earnings, so you might want to look into that. I think PG just reported. There's so many companies reporting lately. Why can't we just go to the day? Go to what day? You're going to get banned again, this time for indecent exposure if you live stream sitting in your boxers. Just judging like the highest level athletes and track stars. That's what I like about it. People, I saw Simone Biles ended up dropping out of the Olympics for mental health issues, or not issues, just for her own mental sanity. I think she felt as if she could not perform at the highest level. And when you're doing gymnastics, I myself maybe threw a cartwheel like about a decade ago. That's my gymnastics experience. So I feel like as if I can properly comment on this because I'm not an expert, but I'm almost an expert. I probably threw. Okay, here's when I was younger, I could somersault. I've thrown a cartwheel before, and I remember one time in middle school gym class, I tried to do a one-handed cartwheel, and I fell and hit my hip, and that hurt really bad. So that's my gymnastics resume, hence why I can comment on this. It's just there's so many people judging when we have no clue the difficulty of it. Like we're just watching people who are freaking swans in the air across the board. This isn't even Simone. This is all gymnasts, and pretty much you could apply this to any Olympian. We just sit there and we're like, that looks easy. Like, we could do that. That like these people, just human beings. Like you're a human, I'm a human, and yet that person, that human is like doing like 14 flips in the air, and we're like, really? I don't know. Their legs came apart on that one. I don't know if they should get a 9. We should drop it to an 8. Like it's the judgment that people just throw out there on social media for something that myself, I will physically never ever be able to do. Like I was thinking about this. I was watching, what was it? I think track and field is about to start up. What's funny is you're going to see some comments, and you see this in previous Olympics, of even the slowest person. The fact that we have the gall to be like, oh, they're slow. Like, oh, they're the last one. Like, they're still literally an Olympic runner, an Olympic sprinter. Like, in real life, they're slow compared to maybe the top 20 people in the world, the top 50 people in the world, as in they would still be literally billions, actually billions of other humans, like just across the board. And then we see them in just like the most like advanced group of people ever. And we're like, nah, they're kind of slow. Like, what? I can't even get myself to run consistently for like 1 month. And then we're just like, I love it. I love it. I love it so much. This coffee is for chums. Time for some, or at least upside down lawn chair shandy. Love you. Thanks, Max. Shout out, Matt. We should watch race walking in these Olympics. Matt saw Christian Bale documentary last night. He was rich and took down bank capital with cool gadgets. Then he shorted housing industry. Dude, cool. Mrs. K becoming an astronaut. Gymnastics. Shout out GTA Nation. I've been in since 2 to 3. Oh, so just total. You're up a lot of money. Do you feel like that it went from a short-term hold to a long-term? I mean, technically, once we hit a year in terms of taxes, at least what I'm familiar with in the U.S., it would go from a short-term game to a long-term. But for it, the play has gone on way longer than I ever expected. Way, way longer than I ever expected. But with it, it's still the game of, for me, have the shorts covered? No? Okay. Well, I'm still in the play then. I'm kind of keeping it that basic. Good morning, just in case you don't see. Good afternoon, good evening, and best of luck in the market. Shout out Shane. What happens to the 2-day market makers? The 2-day market makers. I don't. Just hold on. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with a 2-day What happens to the 2-day market makers? I don't know if I've heard that before. Totally. Yee-hoo. Your content has helped me become a little bit less depressed and more motivated to live. Thanks, man. That's some heavy stuff, Armin. I hope you're making the progress you need to make. Seriously, congratulations. Day by day, as long as baby steps, progressing in baby steps. A 0.1% improvement is still an improvement, and you never know where you're going to be at the end of the year by just slowly and surely getting better. Congratulations. I've had so much going the next 4 days, fun stuff planned, but my heart leaped with jealousy when you said you get to do nothing. Heard you're a semi-amateur professional gymnast. Yeah, maybe I should do like some video of that to show you guys my cartwheeling ability. It's been a couple years, and I might be putting my own, I don't know, spinal alignment at risk, but I'd show you guys my mean cartwheel and somersault ability. Can you interview True Demon? His DD on short exempts and FTDs is mind blowing. Yeah, I mean, True Demon, I talk to at this point a couple of times a week. He's in the Discord. So in the midday session, the Discord, we end up all just talking to each other. And True Demon usually stops by, and solid DD, very passionate person. And most days he ends up teaching me something. I love talking with him. I clipped the Olympic rant, started playlist, Kohrs crazy rants on the other channel. Also, hey bro, just the Olympics. What judge scores would your real girlfriend hold up for you? Probably not something at 0, but I would assume very close. She's actually gone for the weekend. Um, Hanging out with her friends. I guess I don't. She's like, oh, I'm hanging out with all my friends. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not going. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, so I'm not a friend? And then she looked at me, and then she's like, but it's a girls' trip. And I was like, oh. And then a little bit later in the conversation, they were talking about how guys will be there. I was like, yeah. But like, if it's your friend's trip, all of your friends are going to be there and I'm not there. By like the transitive property of friendship, that means I'm not a friend. And then your excuse was that it was a girl's trip, but you just said that these guys will be there. So like, what? And then she said, yep, see you on Wednesday. So so there's that. Oh, folks, what is going on? Matt, you're making up every second of this. I wish I were. I wish I were. Big oof. Yeah. I plan on hodling my shares so tight that they turn into diamonds. I think that's how this works. So there's that. You put the volume too low, bro. Did I? I think I'm coming in at -6 decibels. That's what I always shoot for, -6. Well, now it sounds too high. Hello, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. I think this is good. I don't know. Ever notice how his totally real girlfriend is always gone? So I was in Atlantic City some time ago, and someone, a fan, an ape of the community, was like, Matt Kohrs. Like, I was at a casino, which I don't know. Apparently, casinos don't like when you're just shouting across the casino at someone. But anywho, that person met my completely real girlfriend. So someone out there, one in the 350,000 people in my community, can confirm real girl. She's a completely real girl, not one of those like inflatable ones. Time to get a new girlfriend. Get off the Duck Duck Date app. Can't stop crying. I appreciate your kind words, man. I truly appreciate you. Armin, best of luck. Best of luck. Can you explain the Ortex values you look at and what percentage values are good and why? James Neff, quick overview: short interest, shares on loan, and utilization. And just to better understand how they all interplay with each other on this channel, if you just search Matt Kohrs, and then the title of that video is Know These Terms, I explain them in more detail, how they interplay and the math behind them. And then your question of what values are good, we're just looking for there to be a considerable short interest. And I would say it's considerable, probably above 10. Like for that, I would probably, let me get a little bit more research on what is considerable, but I'd feel confident in anything above 10 is still like, okay, a solid, noteworthy, or abnormally high short interest. The higher it goes, the higher the proverbial ceiling of a short squeeze. Don't get married, please, for us, fam. Who, him? Don't worry about him. He's just a friend. Matt's totally real girlfriend. I think it has something to do with me continually reminding her how lucky she is. She'll like just be doing something. Like last night, she had made cheeseburgers and she gave me a cheeseburger and she gave it to me. And obviously, I think a big thing with a relationship at any level is to keep them on their toes. You don't just follow the normality of societal rules. Usually when someone gives you a meal, you say, thank you. That is very kind, to show just respect for them going out of the way to consider you. I get it. That's the normal social rule. I get that rule. It makes sense. But me, I like to spice my life up a bit. And she gave me said meal. It was a lettuce wrapped, because I'm fitness, I'm health. Like you don't get the body of a Greek god like myself by eating buns. Let me tell you that. So I had a lettuce wrapped bacon cheeseburger with extra bacon, because like I like bacon, and I figured if I'm not eating a bun, I might as well eat extra bacon. It's a process. Don't worry about that. Don't let me digress. But anyway, she gave me said meal, and I just so passionately looked her in the eyes, and I just said, you are so lucky to have me. And just like, obviously the immediate just change in her facial expression told me if she were physically strong enough, I think she would have busted my head in. But luckily I'm quick and agile. Calm down goes a long way too. I tried to say you're so lucky to have me to my wife. Dinner turned into fast food, and she hurled it at my face. You should go fly with Vix and the boys. You might need it, buddy. You should go fly. Oh, like, so I know they're meeting up this weekend with mine. I don't know. I was just a little bit, I don't know. I just didn't know how the community was going to react with this whole concept of, apparently you're not allowed to have any fun until the squeeze. Like that's like a whole thing that I found out recently, which obviously I disagree with. But I do have an interview. I have to take care of an interview tomorrow morning, which kind of like messed up the whole plans. A nice morning interview. When girlfriends are paid for, they are your real girlfriends, at least for that hour. When I hear you talk about your girlfriend and watch you with your headband, I think of Ted Bundy. uh, Average $2 for AMD a while ago. Where is there a thing going since it broke resistance on 99 thoughts? You're the best. Well, right now it's at a new high. Like, you just have to let price discovery play itself out. You can use Fibonacci extension to give you a little bit of an idea, but it's clear skies ahead. You just have to see where it's untested waters, and you have to see where the supply and demand ends up like really balancing itself out. Hey Matt, not to scare you, but I went out with the girls once and I'm happily married to one of the guys that was there. Oh, maybe. What if I do like a behind the scenes of Matt Kohrs' life? Like, we'll do financial stuff and rant and whatever this is during the day. But maybe this weekend I'll just be on live Instagram live, and I'll go surprise her to see what's really going on. I'll just do like a Matt Kohrs reality show and just have like all this drama. What's that show that's on right now? Too Hot to Handle? If you guys don't know the premise of Too Hot to Handle, it's a show on Netflix where basically all these people go on and it's pitched to them as a different show. Basically, it's like, hey, you're just going to party with a lot of good looking people and have fun, and you can apparently win money. And that's how they get people on this show. And then when you get on the show, they find out that they're allowed to have like no like physical at all relations with anyone else, and they're supposed to grow as a human and blah, blah, blah. And anytime they break the rules, they lose money from the overall pool. That's like a quick overview. I strongly believe I would do amazingly well on that show. They would get me on the show and they would say, you will get money basically if you just don't talk to anyone or do anything. That would be so far up my alley. I would say, great, where is, like, give me a book, give me my phone, give me my computer, where's the bedroom? And I think it's about 3 weeks long. If someone would pay me for 3 weeks to not interact with another human, it doesn't even have to be like a romantic physical thing at all. Like, just give me 3 weeks and do it. Like, I think the show is 100,000. Give me $500 to not talk to people. What? How is that a show? And they can't do it. They lose money so easily. They're like, I just can't control myself. Like, are you kidding me? That part of me would be willing to pay to not do that. And the fact that they can't, like, they've lost like the pool. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for anyone if anyone wants to watch it, but surprise, surprise, they're not that good. They're just like, this is always me. This is my MO. I'm with one girl and then I just can't commit and I have to like blow the relationship up and go to another girl. Like, it's the most sophomoric excuses you could possibly come up with. And like the girl, she's like, this is just always me. It's just, I'm always just with like another guy. Like, I just get so bored so easily. And I'm like, all right, lady, like, that's crazy. I would do so well on that show. I would do so insanely well. In terms of TV, I'd get them no views because they'd be like, hey, that kid in the duck band is still like, he's still in his bedroom not doing anything. So it wouldn't make for good TV. But in terms of the competition, I would absolutely annihilate it. I would annihilate that show. Gold medal on, hey, Too Hot to Handle. If you're listening right now, if you need a guy with a high sense of fashion and I would say below average social skills on your show, sign me up. And I don't even need like, you don't have to like, let's just do it. I'll bring my own book or whatever you need to do. And let's make that happen. So coming back to this question of don't get married, please, for us. You don't eat the buns? That's probably while she's still hanging out with the other guy. Tell her, look, I was looking when I found you. I could do it again. And don't forget, I'm famous. Let us know how that response goes. Probably not well. Next time she's mad, tell her she's being crazy and ask if there's... Failing to ask. Works for me. What's going on, Kinky Kong? Man, today is flying by. It is it's almost 11 a.m. Eastern. AMC currently trading at 38.75. Amazon at still down 7%. Is it coming back? Is it not coming back? Robinhood almost going green on the day. Oddly enough, GME at 162.40. That Mac guy, yeah, he had one vodka cran, and now he's wall twerking in his room alone wearing a duck headband, mumbling AMC to himself. uh, is the squeeze similar to Volkswagen or more money? I don't think you can really compare the Volkswagen to this one. That involved Porsche, that involved the government. That wasn't some big cultural support like betting against shorts. Like the Volkswagen, I guess, psychology of that situation, that was more of a business thing, like a weird business chess match. And this is a chess match, but this is more of a psychology chess match. And in terms of more money, I mean, well, we'll have to let like things play out and see from there. Like this, Matt had one vodka cran and now he's twerking on a wall by himself. AMC making that run again to 39. It's up above 2% on the day. Looking good. Let's do a quick Ortex check on that. AMC, a net return of 353,000, 1.22 million return, but still kind of smaller numbers. Not the biggest thing, but short interest 15.31%. GameStop, whoa. That's a big bet against GameStop. Short interest popped up to 15.88%. This is the largest increase in borrowed shares against GME we have seen in a hot minute, folks. In a hot minute. Some would almost say it's too hot to handle. Tell her she's acting like her mother and she'll stop. Works every time when they realize they don't want to become their moms. All right. Oh, just so the team knows. The team knows. Where is it? So this, oops. Why is that? Why is this not showing up? Very quickly. So not like a live show of me talking, but more of like a watch party for AMC, GME, Robinhood, that stuff. Matt Kohrs clips. That's what we're doing in the in-between session. So right after this, if you give it 5 or 10 minutes, if you go to Matt Kohrs clips with this like duck guy, you're going to see it there. And then, this is the interview from yesterday on Fox, the one about Robinhood. But anyway, there's going to be a live stream and just some like lo-fi background music. So if you're working, you can listen to the music once in a while, check in on the charts. But if you just check out Matt Kohrs clips, it's going to be there pretty much right after this stream ends, just so everyone knows. But whoa, and definitely something to watch. I mean, AMC is moving. It is grooving, folks. Just made a new intraday high at 39.18. Boom goes the dynamite. We're watching 40 to 42. AMC is ripping. The rippening or the ribbiting if we have on any frog hats. Twerking off vodka crans. Stay with us. I actually have to take care of I have to do some prep for those that interview tomorrow morning, but I'll be back. So here's the plan. Midday session, there's that lo-fi music. If you want to talk with each other, I just want to provide some sort of forum that you can all communicate with each other. And then I'll be back live on this channel from 2 to 4. So here's how kind of the new schedule works. It goes 9 to 11 on this channel. And then on the other backup channel, that's where we have like the lo-fi music. You can listen to it, do your work, pay attention to the charts, talk to people, see if there's any like news that everyone's talking about. And then 2 to 4, we're back on this channel to kind of wrap up the day. And obviously today we'll be wrapping up the week. All right. And with that, 11 a.m. So right now we're going to end this one. We're going over to the other channel, lo-fi music. It's not me commentating or anything like that, but worthwhile to watch because AMC is looking like one hot tamale today. Exciting stuff. So I'm going to head over there. Thank you for all of the incredible support this morning. I will catch you this afternoon from 2 to 4. And just remember, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.